Today we'll be working on a 2003 Miata on how to adjust or change the serpentine belts. You have two serpentine belts, the main one and then a smaller one on the left passenger side. Now to get to it, you'll have to remove the main belt and also the air intake box. Also, you'll have to remove the bottom skid plate to get to a few of the bolts that I'll show you. There are two screws holding the air intake box and one line that you'll have to remove, as you'll see here next. Very simple. Now you'll be able to reach the serpentine belt and also the bolts that adjust the tightness to remove it. One of these bolts to loosen the belt is behind the pulley, and you can reach it through the hole in the pulley, but you'll have to align it by spinning the engine or turning the pulley in order to reach it. You'll have to align it or turn it until it aligns, and you can put your socket in as I've done here, and then you can loosen that bolt. Now on the other side of that bolt there is a nut you'll have to also hold in place and either loosen the nut or the bolt, but eventually you get it loose to where the pulley can move. Next, you want to loosen this bolt right here so it allows the pulley to move, and then you can loosen the pulley mechanism as you'll see next. You don't want to remove any of the bolts, just loosen them up. Now pay attention to the routing of the belt before removing it, and once removed, then you can reach the other belt. I'll show you how to get to that one. Now with the skid plate removed, you can see the secondary belt, which I've already put on. You can see there are two pivot bolts that you will loosen. One is at the bottom, one is at the top. There's the top bolt. You will loosen that one, and then this one on bottom, the head is on the back side of the alternator. Now you can see the top bolt here from the top of the engine bay. That is the top pivot bolt that you'll loosen. Just to the left of that bolt is the tightening and loosening mechanism right there. Be sure to pay attention to how the belts are routed and that they're in the groove the way they should be, well seated. And also when you put the belt back on before you tighten anything, make sure this pulley is aligned with the bolt that you loosened. Then you can tighten all the pivot bolts back up, including the tensioner. Now at this point you can put the air intake back on, which has a screw clamp on either side, and don't forget the little line in the center. Now you can install the plastic skid plate back on. Now since you didn't see me take it off, there are two bolts in the back side that hold it up, 3 screws towards the front, and then one on each part of the sides that are the corners. Those back bolt holes are right there, one on either side, and the screws that go towards the front, the holes correspond to these screws that you see me touching there near the radiator. Corner bolts or screws go right there. One is near the sway bar, the other one is kind of underneath the plastic area here near the headlight. You'll see that nut that I've reinstalled there so I wouldn't lose it. That's where one of the corners goes. And that's it, you're done. Now you can go out and enjoy your car.